Alright, is it working? Let me see. You might hear my stream in the background because I'm making sure that the mic is working. Alright, it is. Sweet. Um. Okay, so this is gonna be. I'm gonna hope this works. If not, that will suck. Um. I'm trying out a new way of doing the audio for my streams because I think it could work well. Specifically in a way that I can have background music on stuff like art streams, or if I'm playing a game that, like, there isn't really any story that needs to be paid attention to, and so I can just have background music. Because I know there is a way to be able to play background music on your stream without getting your VOD muted, and I hope I did this right. I was honestly gonna stream like 2 hours earlier, but this took so fucking long to set up. This was so horrible to figure out, so I'm gonna hope this works. I have background music, and it is not necessarily separated free because it's hard to find, and this should work. Because the whole point of this is to be able to play music on your stream without getting it copyright stricken. So I hope this should work. And if it doesn't work, then I go back to not playing it. Not a huge loss. It's just whether or not it actually wants to let it work. So the reason also why this animatic is different, I also need to make sure that the levels are going to be correct because I should have fucking tested this better. Please work. Does it work? That does not fucking work. What the fuck is that? Hold on, wait. Why does it sound so pixelated? Oh no, what is going on with that? That sounded so pixelated. Hold on. Sorry about this. Huh? You absolutely mean. Hold on. This is so confusing. KS/MME hardware out. KS/MME hardware. Hold on. I am sorry, but I need to fix this because the audio sounds pixelated as fuck, which is not supposed to be happening. What's it for? I am so confused. Wait, what? Oh, wait, hold on. I see. I think. No? Okay. Oh, did that work better? Did that fix it? Hold on, that might have actually fixed it. Wait. Did it fix it? Yeah, yes. Okay. Now, is it actually going to work with the music? Yeah, it is. Is it working? It is. Oh my god, yes. Okay, that's so good. Sweet. All right, and I'm gonna make sure the audio levels are correct because I do not want the music to be louder than my voice. That would not be great. I want the music to be quite a bit lower than my voice. Yeah, I'm just having Epic the musical in the background because good music, and it should be working correctly in that. What or not? I'm so confused. Hold on. What is happening? One of that I can hear the music just fine, but it sounds like there's something in the background that's like crackly. And I'm not sure what that is. I really don't know what that sound is. Is it working now? Fuck. Hold on, I'm trying something here. Is it working? No, it's not. Hold on. How does this work? Hmm. Wait. I am so confused. I'm trying to fix it. Hold on. Because it's like, it's not the crackling that is, it's not the audio that's crackling. It's the issue seems to be that there's some sort of crackling noise in the background, but how do I fix this? Okay, this is annoying. I think I'm gonna end stream for a bit to see if I can get this fixed. Because I didn't realize this was even happening at all. This is actually a huge issue. I have no idea how to fix it though. If I switch, no. If I go here, that keeps the same sound issues. Maybe if I do this, hold on. No? How the hell do I fix this? I'm looking up stuff how to fix this, but it's like there's nothing that gives a complete fix to it. The one thing I found is like there's temporary fixes or you have to download another program to do that. I don't want to have to do either of those. I don't know how the fuck to do that. I'm seeing some solution because the thing is I want to end stream to fix this, but also the way I'm hearing whether or not there's crackling is from the stream, so for now I might actually just keep stream up. I kind of need it as a way to figure out if what I'm doing is working. Tried a few things, just changing some settings, but nothing's working. I have no idea how to fix this. People are not giving, like, complete answers. Missing system sound, scroll down speakers, device properties. Okay. That sounds pretty simple. Settings. System sound, scroll down to speakers. Device properties. How do I do device properties? It's not here. Properties. Bit 40,000 hertz. Why? Okay. Did that fix it? That might actually have fixed it. That person did say the instant. Pretty much fixed it instantly. Oh my god, it's actually fixed. For now, I hope it stays that way. Music, does it work? Right, I muted stream audio. Is it working? It actually sounds good. Okay, sweet. Now, tell me if it ever goes back to that, because I might not always notice if I'm focused on doing whatever I'm doing on stream in this case. Or because I think it's working still. Yeah, it is. Okay, sweet. I was just checking because I couldn't tell if there was like any of the audio crunchiness in the background of the music, but it should be good. But yeah, now I have music on the stream because I was having the issue before of like if I was focused on the art and not really talking much, it was kind of just awkward silence on the stream. Now that problem's pretty much fixed. Because I didn't want to get my VODs muted or copyrighted or something, so I just have it on separate tracks. So uh, the VODs don't have the music included in there. It's all the audio but the music. This has the stream though will have the music. Hopefully that works well. Anyways, you'll notice this does not look like my Would You Fall in Love with Me Again animatic. That's because it's not. I kind of got a bit burnt out and tired of work. Not burnt out, but like tired of working on the Would You Fall in Love with Me animatic. I have a hard time working on like the same project for weeks at a time. So I kind of just like take a bit of break, take some breaks to work on something else. This is one of the cut songs that was more recently released for Aeolus. The Wind God. This is like I think it's the most recently released cut song. Well, it wasn't quote fully released. They are going to release it at some point, but it's not officially released. But it was like Jorge, the creator of Epic, posted it on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So yeah, I kind of wanted to do an animatic of this because this is one of my favorite cut songs that have been revealed. So I want to do an animatic of it, and this is a really short song too. It's like a minute, something around a minute or something. I think. It's really short. I haven't gotten very far so far, but again, it's not a long song at all. And also, this is kind of an experimental Aeolus design. I kind of thought having her be like a cloud from the waist down would be a fun idea, and I am I do like the idea. I think making the cloud a bit bigger than that might be a good call, honestly. Like making it extend out to here or something. I don't know if that's very obvious on stream because it's kind of a small cursor to work with for the switch to a bigger cursor, like out to here or something. Just having it, I feel like that would make it a bit more like dynamic looking for the design. I'm gonna make sure it's still working well because the other solutions seem to work well at first. It's working well. Guess it was just at a bad bit rate because now it's working just fine. Shit. I hope that didn't fuck up anything. I changed the volume slightly accidentally when I put my headset back on. Anyways, um, here, you know what? I'll show y'all what I've got so far. It's not much. It's like I haven't animated the instrumental bit at the start. It's like a few seconds of instrumental before the lyrics, just because I don't have an idea of what I want to put here yet. And you don't have to work on an animatic like chronologically in order from start to finish, because a lot of people don't actually. You start where you have the first idea of what to animate. So I just start with the lyrics start, but I've literally gotten like a line in. Welcome to my island. Welcome to my home. That's the furthest in I've gotten. Also, this does not sound like, if you're wondering, this does not sound like the AO, if you have heard Epic, and you haven't heard this specific cut song, or the way cut songs in general have mostly been released, unless they were actually voiced before they were cut. This does not sound like Aeolus's voice actor, because it's not. It is Jorge singing this, because I presume this song was cut before it was actually ever voiced by Kira Stone, the voice actor of Aeolus. I assume it was cut before then, so yeah. That's why you'll notice difference in voice actor, because it is not the same person. Yeah. So, hold on, I want to figure this out, timing-wise. Welcome to my home! I think at the start of home, I'm gonna put a new frame for Odysseus there. Kind of gets annoyed at oh yeah, I hope y'all like that. Now I'm able to actually have background music on streams. It's very good now, so that now then if I'm like not talking for an extent, if I'm like focused on the art more, won't have to be. Wait, shit, fuck. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I apologize. I did not get my PNG model up, which is still the scuffed Kobo model. Is it working? Please tell me it's working. Okay, it is. Good. I completely forgot to put that up. All right. Also, yeah, this is the first time I think I've put out my like Act One of Epic Odysseus design because y'all have seen me working on. Oh no, never mind. I did the stream working on the Cyclops saga, the Polyphemus. To kind of have his shoulders go like droop a little bit. Maybe not that much, or like just a slight amount. Not so much that it like disappears his shoulder. Welcome to my home. We'll need to get the hair for this side. We'll be pretty much done with that. Welcome to my home. Welcome, welcome to my home. Okay, I think that works. But yeah, I think it's a cool. This is my AOS design pretty much. Okay, they're the wind god. Have their hair blowing around by the wind. There's gonna be all over the place, and a cloud because specifically the clouds aren't necessarily specifically connected to the wind directly, but I do see a lot of designs of like the wind bag having like clouds. Um, like the bag has like clouds on it. So I thought, okay, Aeolus, put the cloud on there. I'm pretty sure even the official design of Aeolus has something to do with clouds. Let me see. Yeah, the official design of Aeolus has their like clothing has sort of clouds on it. Okay, yeah. Also, they're very much designed to be like androgynous in my design because it is not completely clear. Their gender is not completely clear in Epic. In original Greek mythology, um, Aeolus is a man, but in Epic, because Epic has genderless casting, so like anyone can play any character. Aeolus is played by a woman, and also, however, I'm not sure if they just outright made Aeolus into a woman because, also they are referred to as the wind god, not the wind goddess, whereas I'm pretty sure that goddesses are referred to with goddess in Epic. And also ask in Luck Runs Out. One of the lines is, "I'm gonna climb up to the top and ask him for a hand." It's not ask him for a hand or ask her for a hand. It's ask them for. It's ask like M shortened them for a hand. So it could just be them not knowing fully who Aeolus is, so referring to them with gender neutral terms more. But also, I don't think it's been ever officially confirmed whether or not they're non-binary. But my version of Aeolus is very much designed to be more um androgynous. I would have made the hair more androgynous length, but I made it a bit longer to more emphasize like the hair blown by the wind. So I think I made it fairly androgynous either way though. And also, if you're wondering why I don't have like pupils in the eyes, there's a very common design trait that is between like not every epic animator, but it is very common, and I do like it, so I'm also including it in mine. That the gods don't have pupils; they just have like glowing white eyes, except for my version of Athena during some points. That will be left for whenever I actually get around to making my animatics with Athena. Athena at certain points will not follow that rule. But Aeolus does. I feel like the eyes should be different because this is supposed to be a fairly front view, and if you look at here, the eyes are slightly off because if you go up the or the face, it's not. It doesn't really matter. This is more sketch. This is more the sketch phase more than anything. Okay, so welcome to the greatest floating place I've ever known. Okay. I've ever known. Okay. Almost 100 frames. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for this. Should have probably thought a bit more about this before doing a stream so that I could more just be just drawing it. Also, I think their arm isn't. This isn't a good. It isn't the length for an arm that is more realistic. It would be longer. Whatever. It could be more bent behind the back. This part, it's not even going to be like visible. This part because it's behind Odysseus. So whatever. There we go. And also maybe just bend this down a bit more to imply more bending. And to angle this down a bit more because, yeah, the arm would be longer than that. So, trying to figure out how I want to do this. I'm putting it. So, trying to figure out what I want to do for this line of song. Okay. So, background is probably not going to be very existent for this specific frame. Also, I am experimenting with a textured brush because I kind of like the look of it. If you notice, my brush looks slightly different if I go a bit thicker with it. Especially, you can notice the slight difference. Okay, so kind of have their cloud bottom half. This is one song I'm not sure if I want to do an animatic on. Hold them down. It's a good song, like as a song, it's good, but also like it's by far the most gruesome song, dark song, definitely. Have more like speed lines. Have it sort of thinned out for each cloud thing. Trying to figure out how to do this while making it look good. I think that looks good. Draw the circle for the arm to come out of. No, the angle would be more like, hold on. That's not even a realistic way to have your arm if you're holding it back. I'm gonna have them like pulling Odysseus along. Just because I think that's a funny visual. This is a much more non-serious song, so I want to have the visuals kind of match that energy. Good. Hold on. Trying to see if I can get their hair to go a bit further down because I don't think I put it quite far down enough. There we go. That looks better. Um. Also, sorry if you can sometimes hear the squeak on my desk. I've mentioned it before on streams. I can't do anything about it. Also, you can probably hear my dog in the background a bit. Oh. Trinity Night Gaming, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Here, I'll give you the shout out. That should work, right? Fucking not at all. Hold on. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Mobile Twitch sucks. It is the actual worst. Apologies. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. But yo, welcome in, everyone. How was stream? What were you playing? Welcome in, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. I rarely have to shout out anyone on mobile Twitch, so I'm trying to figure out how to actually do that. Because it's not very clear how to. But yeah, I'm okay. There we go. I think now that you chatted, I think I can just. There we go. Did that shout you out correctly? I clicked the thing to shout you out on your chat message. It's not showing me anything, but I think it shouted you out. I tried that again just to be sure. I should really do this from OBS instead. Hold on. I think that would actually be way easier. Sorry about this. This is. Shut up. There we go. It went great. You beat Ronaldo and Radon. Nice. Glad it went well. I haven't played Elden Ring in a while. I do need to finish my my DLC playthrough. I haven't played that since like last June. But yeah, I'm doing some animation. Um, I'm taking a bit of a break from my "What Do You Fall in Love with Me Again" animation because I just kind of got tired of working on that, like with how much I worked on that. So, oh, hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me fix something with the music. I think it messed up somewhere. Something messed up with the music, but yeah, I figured out how to add background music. If you, as you could probably tell, because art streams specifically were getting like if I was focusing on the art a lot, then there wasn't much sound going on, so I figured out a way to add music without adding it to the VOD because I don't want to get copyrighted. And that's how you get copyrighted, or at least your VOD muted, is having copyrighted music in the VOD. And I figured out how to do that if it's working correctly at least. And I haven't had anything happen yet, so I assume it is working correctly. Hold on. Something messed up with the music. It was not playing correctly for my side. I don't know how it was on the stream side, but it wasn't playing correctly for my side. No complaint with Odysseus in the background. Yeah, I'm playing a bunch of just Epic the Musical because it's really good. It's 100% my favorite music, or my favorite music at all to listen to. I was gonna say musical, but it's I don't have a bunch of musicals that I listen to. Um, I just don't listen to a bunch of music in general. But Epic has become like the main thing I listen to over the past few months. Hold on, there we go. Got it working again. Just had to restart Spotify. I'm working on an Epic the Musical animatic right now, actually. Um, it's for a cut. It's for one of the more recently released cut songs. I think I made their hand too big. You're not gonna let me undo? Hold on, it's not letting me undo. Oh no, I put their hand on way earlier than that. What song? It's the if you follow Jorge the creator on either YouTube or TikTok and he watches shorts, he recently released a well, not released as in like you can listen to it on Spotify. It's not he's not releasing cut songs like that yet, but he released a Aeolus song recently. It's not sung by the actual Aeolus voice actor, but it's sung by him. But that song's been kind of stuck in my head since I first like heard it, and I wanted to make an animatic of it because I have seen a few people making animatics. I wanted to make my own animatic of it because I do. It is one of my favorite cut songs after actually hearing it now. Here, I'll play what I've gotten animated so far. This is also my first time using doing any animatic of a song with Aeolus in it, so this is still kind of an experimental Aeolus design. I haven't fully decided on what I want it to be yet, but
welcome to my island. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the greatest floating place I've ever known.
I haven't fully finished this one yet. But yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten on it. I'm still working on this part. Yeah, I'm not gonna scroll back through because that creates ugly sound for the stream. I don't mind it because I work in Clip Studio Paint a lot, but I know plenty of people watching the stream are probably gonna mind it more because it doesn't sound the greatest. But yeah, I'm kind of experimenting with their design because I want to make it kind of more unique as an Aeolus design. I'm not really keeping up with the cut songs much, but I've heard a few. Nice. Yeah, one of my favorite cut songs before the Aeolus one released. I'm trying to think of what my favorite one was. Um, I really like the what's the song's like name? He never released official names for them, so I've seen a lot of people just make up their own names for it. Um, but I like the cut song of Odysseus asking Athena to help him talk to Penelope. That song's a really fun one. And in terms of humor, as my favorite cut song that is just really funny that I'm not necessarily unhappy got cut because um it wouldn't really fit with the tone. I think there's a song that would have replaced the ending of The Horse and the Infant where I think it's called This Cannot Be the Way. I think that would probably be what its name is. Cuz and at the end it has the blood on your hands is something you won't lose, all you can choose is who's. It's so funny because it's like Odysseus is having this mental breakdown over having to throw the infant off the wall, and Athena's just in the background, like jamming out with. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find it on Spotify. And not get the way because Spotify is what I'm actually catching audio from. Yes, it's this song is so funny for. That's Athena, and I love this serious moment, just having like this as the this is the music for one of the very early serious moments. It's so funny. I love it. It's not something I would choose to actually be in the musical over what's in there currently because I like what's in there currently. I'm just gonna. I can't help but wonder where was I at in that. I'm just gonna skip to the middle because the amount that doesn't fit is kind of amazing. Yeah, it's really funny. It's one of my favorite cut songs purely for the fact that it absolutely does not fit with the moment. I love it. All right. Time to draw Aeolus dragging Odysseus through the island because I think that is a very funny visual to have for this part. That's about the same size as that, right? Kind of drew the wrestler. Okay, maybe it's a bit bigger. No, it's good enough. It doesn't. Maybe slightly smaller. Figuring out proportional head sizes is so hard to actually keep it consistent. Yeah, I think this was pretty much gonna be if this was this is basically the song that I think would have replaced Keep Your Friends Close, which is why I'm kind of glad it was cut because Keep Your Friends Close is one of my favorite songs in Epic. It's very good. Oh, hold on. Actually, draw the jaw correctly from a side perspective. Because I do love, with the tone that Odysseus's vocals have in the song, I do feel like this version of Aeolus was much. It did seem like they were much more friendly to Odysseus, but also the tone of Odysseus still seems like he's kind of like annoyed by their almost playfulness in the song. So I'm kind of trying to make it to where it's like Odysseus just wants to get home. He does not care for this. And I love the idea of just Aeolus dragging him in anyways. Try and make their height somewhat proportional. I do think Aeolus should be. Hold on, I need to make Odysseus smaller. He's he's too big. I think Aeolus should be. In general, the gods should be bigger than mortals. At least in my designs. I like the idea of them being much larger, even for the smallest. But yeah, keep your friends. Oh, over over here singing along with the background music. But yeah, keep your friends close with me. It really was. Just for the voice work alone, I am kind of sad Aeolus doesn't return like at all after Keep Your Friends Close. I don't think they come back at all. No, they don't. Aside from technically having a clip from Keep Your Friends Close in the start of Love in Paradise for the time dive, but like that's only technically coming back. That's not like physically coming back for a song. I do wish Aeolus came back, but I do very much love what we have already, anyways. So I do still. Oh, that's not the way to draw the legs. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how high they are in the air for this, so I know how to draw the legs, or if this is even the correct way to draw the body, the correct angle. I don't think it is. If I just select everything below the head and tilt it slightly, it could be better. I do still need to finish up my Would You Fall in Love with Me animatic. Um, I pretty much have the animation for it done, other than a couple spots I need to add details. I really just need to clean up some of the sketchiness of it. But also, the cleaning up the sketchiness is by far the most boring part of it, so I'm just taking a bit of a break on that animatic for a small amount of time. I think I need to redo the neck if I'm going to have the body more from this angle. I'm going to need to redo the neck. No, that's not correct. I think I need to redraw the bottom half of the body. It'll be. I'm just going to redo the body in general. I think it works better with being slightly less tilted. I like that idea, but also I think I like the idea of them more physically, like almost dragging Odysseus towards their throne. I assume that's where they end up because they do say like "Welcome to my throne" at some point in the song. And move this further back to have the arm more outstretched. Also, I hope the levels are good for the background music because this is my first time doing it, so let me know if my voice is too loud, if the background music is too loud, if anything's too quiet or loud. Because I cannot tell. There we go, that's good. Also, I'm not drawing fingers yet. That goes in the cleanup process because I don't want to figure that out right now. That goes in the cleanup process when I delete like all the sketch lines for the head circles. I'm not drawing fingers yet. Beard, I think the beard would be slightly less forward here. There we go. Or slightly less back, it would go. It would be slightly more forward on the jaw. Odysseus's nose is one of the most inconsistent things in my designs of any epic characters. I don't know how to draw this man's nose, so I just estimate it every single time. I should really come up with like a permanent design for his nose, but I never settle on a specific to have it. Anyway, their nose is too small. I can fix that later. Make it a bit less. No, not less mad looking. Brows are always hard to draw. Figure out how I want it to look. He looks. I'm trying to make him look somewhat surprised, but like also. Huh. Also, kind of experimenting with a bunch of different styles of eyes at the moment, and I can't figure out what looks best. This is currently what I'm going for, but also like it could change. I have the hair slightly more blown back than usual. That's just longer than his hair in general, and not necessarily how his hair looks in the way I draw it. That as well. Hair from a side view is hard, especially when it's blowing back like I'm trying to make it look like, since he's being pulled along at the speed of wind. I think being up more would work better. That just. Hmm. It's so hard to figure out what looks right and what doesn't. In general, I don't like the way the face looks here. Hmm. Is it the positioning of the eyes? Are those too high? It might be. Or am I making the hair too small? Comparatively, it's so hard to figure out what's wrong with this, but I don't like something about this. It is the eye. The eye, I think, is a bit too high up. I just drag that down because I'm trying to put the hair like just above the eye, but that's ending up. I don't know. Is that right? I can't tell what's right looking. Oh, my phone's about to die. That's what I'm using for chat. Hold on. Putting my phone in very quick. Don't want to lose track of chat. It doesn't look terrible like this. I'm gonna try and see if it looks better now drawing the hair in. Because I think the hair was getting too high because I couldn't put the hair low enough. I can fix it later. Oh wait, the hair wouldn't be blowing up in the first place because she's pulling it. They're pulling him up. They're pulling Odysseus upward, so his hair actually wouldn't be going up at all. I just realized that, like, just because Aeolus's hair is affected by the wind upwards doesn't mean that Odysseus is going to be. I think I'm just gonna draw his hair normally. I do not normally spend this much time on hair, but apparently this frame is impossible to draw the hair well. I still don't know if that looks right. I'll just go with it for now. I can fix it later if it ends up looking wrong. Um,
To the greatest floating place I've ever known.
huh. Okay, so
Welcome.
okay. Okay, where does the sound start? About here, I think. I think this is the welcome to my kingdom, right?
Welcome to my kingdom.
Correct. Okay. So I'm gonna do a background here because here I actually want to show the kingdom somewhat. How do I have them be in the throne room already? Because I don't think I want it to. Well, hold on. I think actually. Okay, how do I want to design the island? I think I can do a sort of transition frame between this because I don't want it to be okay. I can actually get this in a good viewpoint now so that I can know how everything scales. Also, yeah, this is just sketching, so it's not going to look particularly detailed or clean. I know it's going to be a bit messy, but I'm going to have this be the entrance to, like, the... Uh... Hmm. I had an idea for a moment, but that would also be really hard to convey with the animation, to transition there. I had an idea of, like, them going way high up into the air and showing, like, a top-down view of the island for the Welcome to My Kingdom, and then Welcome to My Throne, there could just be, like, a transition frame. I don't know, but I do like this. Wait, no, it's got to start in the middle. Or we draw it this way. Hmm. How did I have it designed at first? Okay, hold on. The triangle needs to go way further out. The roof needs to go way further out. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have drawn this in perspective. Perspective drawing of architecture is so difficult. Okay, maybe I'm not going to draw this in perspective at all because that is I do not have the skill level to draw even like a person in perspective. Definitely not architecture. And I'm way better at drawing people than architecture. Huh. I need to figure out the framing of this again. Hmm. I mean, I can draw it in perspective as in from the side decently. So I could probably work with that. I don't know. It's so hard to figure out like where I want this to be. I should have probably figured this out before I did the stream, at least in general, what I want the visuals to look like. So then stream is just like I generally draw that, but you know, I think I'm gonna skip this and come back and
Welcome
think
to
about.
my kingdom. Welcome to my throne.
Wait, no, hold on. Pause. I'm gonna skip that and come back to it when I figure out, because that is a valid thing to do with the animatic order. Skip something if you don't know what to put there yet. Now, what do I want their throne to look like? I don't know. I think I'm gonna just like what does an ancient Greek throne look like? Because I could probably just have that, take that, and then add like wind or cloud designs to it. I mean, they obviously didn't all have one general look to them, but you know, I can take in general what I see. Okay, they look about how I expected them to, so I think we're gonna have theirs look a bit more grand than a lot of what else I was seeing. Ah, hold on. Pressing a key on my keyboard to make that undo weirdly. Okay, I can do basic architecture in some. Well, actually, hold on. I'm gonna have the throne a bit further away because I want Odysseus to be showing some amount of hesitancy, like not fully trusting the situation, even though that's arguable. It's arguable whether or not that would happen. Because keep your friends close. Odysseus says deal to Aeolus pretty quickly, so he isn't exactly in Epic, at least he isn't exactly known for assessing the situation of whether or not he can trust it. But you know, this is a cut song, so I'm trying to figure out how to do the throne without making it look like a bit too. Hold on. Do it from a bit of a side view, so I can. No, maybe not side view. Trying to make it look like kind of grand and huge, like what a god would actually have as their throne. Also, kind of hard to figure out how that looks. Kind of want to have the handles slightly further out, or not the handles, the armrests a bit further out than the edge of the throne borders. I think that makes it look slightly more dynamic in some ways. I need to make it also like the sides match up a bit more. Hold on. See if I can draw like a cloud at the top of this. Sort of a cloud, and then maybe have like wind leading up the throne to the cloud. There we go. That looks decent. No, I need sleep. Enjoy the rest of this. Looks good so far. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. your time here. Yeah, have a good night. Sleep well. Thanks for stopping by during the raid. I assume that's when you came in. I do need to do a Warrior of the Mind animatic. This reminds me. This is reminding me that I very much need to do this eventually because I have a certain detail on my Athena design that I have made that I really want to show off more, but I haven't done any Athena songs yet to actually show that design off. Also, this would just be a fun song to do. Yeah, came with turns are nice. Can leave it look for however long a piece of let me. Okay. Try to make this look a bit more symmetrical with the like levels of the wind. It's hard to kind of do that. There we go. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize this kind of works with having specifically 4 wind puffs because it a lot of the like stuff with Aeolus and the wind bag is that there's like the east wind, the south wind, north wind, and west wind. So that kind of works with that actually. I didn't even think about that. And in this song, that's actually specifically mentioned, which is where I think this does do. I like Keep Your Friends Close in general better than this song by quite a bit as a song. But I do like a bit more how this song explains the wind bag because it actually explains those different winds. Because I didn't know Greek mythology really much before Epic. I had an interest in it and I knew some things about it, but this has definitely made me a lot more interested. I've learned a lot more about Greek mythology, but I didn't really know how the wind bag worked from Epic alone. So it is nice. I will say it is nice that this song explains that a bit, how it works. In general, though, I am glad that this song got cut in favor of Keep Your Friends Close because definitely couldn't have both of these songs in the musical at the same time because both of them you have the bag being given to Odysseus, but also the Aeoluses and both of them have completely different energies. They both keep the like sort of playful or joking energy, but also one is much nicer than the other. While Keep Your Friends Close kind of has a specifically with the Winions going down to tell the crew its treasure. There's a bit more. They could be trying to mess up the crew a bit more than it looks like. I doubt that was their actual goal, but like there is definitely a bit more them doing it for fun instead of actually to help them. But this one's very much like this one's a lot more friendly. That's a better way of explaining what I was actually trying to explain. I need to kind of draw the area around the throne. Not going to be a super detailed room, but I kind of have like a kind of rectangular area around the throne to emphasize the throne a bit more. I think that looks pretty good. I think this could be fun. Hold on. Ooh, wait, actually, I was just gonna have this as like a mural on the wall behind it. Actually, the idea of having it opening behind the throne to like go directly outside from behind the throne actually fits with Aeolus a lot. So this actually being a cloud behind the throne actually really fits. Wait, I'm gonna have that be what this is instead of it's gonna be a gap in the wall behind the throne. I'm gonna kind of have pillars next to the gap because Makes it look a bit more grand, which is very much what I'm trying to do with the throne as much as possible, because the god's gonna have a grandiose throne. Trying to figure out, the ground isn't completely level, I'm realizing, because I can't draw this exactly level with the whatever. Luckily, it's not real architecture, so I can mess with its height a bit if I need to, which in this case I kind of do. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is because this is going to be a background that's there for a total of one line. I want it to look good, but it doesn't have to look perfect. Also, that's not wide enough compared to the other. I do need it to be somewhat similar widths, so it actually looks good. Okay, damn. All right. Hold on. I should draw the line down first. Figure out the width. Width. There we go. Similar widths. I'm not going to measure it out exactly by pixel count, so this is as good as we're going to get. And draw lines up it just to add a bit of detail. No? Hold on. I don't know if I like the way that looks with just 3 lines. I'm going to try and fit 4 lines on there. It'd be kind of a tight fit, though, to make it also still look good. 5 lines as well. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll go without the lines for now, actually. The lines are making it really hard to keep it looking decent. Rip apologies. Alright, now I think I can draw Odysseus and Aeolus. I could draw Aeolus first. I think having them sit in the throne could be fun. I was gonna have them kind of just showing the throne, but like, I think sitting in the throne could be fun. Okay, kind of try and... Ooh, I think having them up there could be fun. Especially since they don't necessarily have a full-on cannon height for my version, because their cloud... That is, the cloud that is their bottom half kind of can change. Changing their size. Also, in general, my gods kind of have to... My god designs for this kind of have to have the ability to change size to make some songs make sense. Specifically with... My Poseidon is huge. He's gigantic. I haven't done a Ruthlessness animatic. I have actually attempted starting one. I haven't worked on that one in a while. I kind of forgot about that one. But my Poseidon is huge. But also, if I ever do a 600 strike animatic, it's not gonna make sense. Odysseus being able to like loom over and stab a gigantic Poseidon with his own trident, which also would be huge to match him. So, in general, my gods kind of have the assumed ability to change size. Don't know who we're gonna raid to at the end. I don't even know who's live, but we're definitely not raiding out yet. That was just a thought that came to my mind. I don't even know how long I've been streaming for. 125. Yeah, we're not close to even raiding. That was just a random thought that popped into my head. Like, this is not a time I usually stream. Who am I gonna raid at the end? We'll figure it out. If people are streaming who I follow, we'll raid out whenever we do. But we're not even close to that. Because I always like making my streams at least a couple hours, if not a few hours. I don't know if I like the way I made their head. Or the size. And it kind of has to be at least this big to be very readable. So their hair needs to be like eyebrows, first of all. Bit more friendly. Bit more friendly. Bit less friendly. Good enough. I think for this, what's going to be fun is having their hair directly like above their head. A lot of the time I've kind of had it like slightly to the side or something from the wind. But I think for this specific frame, it would be fun having it above the head a bit. For this frame. So I think their hair could be slightly longer. I am proud of the way I'm doing the hair for the design. I think having the hair always being blown around by the wind is very fun for the wind god. That's fun. Right. Something I would absolutely love to do at some point is a done for animatic, purely for, first of all, because I think it would just be fun to animate my interpretation of that. Um, because it's a very good song. I mean, all the songs in Epic are good, but like that's one of my favorites probably. In general, I really like the Cersei saga, which from seeing people's opinions in general is surprisingly a slightly less popular opinion. I'm surprised that the Cersei saga isn't quite as popular as some of the others. It kind of does make sense because it's like Cersei doesn't really come back a bunch like some other characters introduced, and much more like spending time on another island saga, kind of like the Cyclops saga. So it kind of makes sense, but also like I don't know. I love the Cersei saga. Um, and I have like bits of the cloud below the cloud because I do like the idea of the cloud always like changing in shape and size. The way I'm doing the cloud is actually kind of inspired by Beelzebub, hell of a boss. Her tail like is always changing shape and size continuously. And that's the way I'm doing this is kind of inspired by that. Hold on, draw out the shoulders, and then draw out the arms from that. Makes it a bit more nice looking. Drawing out the shoulder joints first. You know, I wasn't originally even planning to do drawing tonight. I was originally planning to do a horror game because I've recently gotten a lot more interest in it. But in a certain game called Mortuary Assistant, um I forgot I had gotten it a while back and I've been playing it the last couple days. It's very fun. But I decided to do this because I don't know. I thought it would be fun. And it very much is. I was right. But soon, Mortuary Assistant stream. I don't know if that's even the right size for the like palms of the hands. Not drawing the fingers right now. I don't even know why I was starting to do that. That comes with the cleanup stage. Because I don't want to spend the time drawing the fingers in the sketch phase because unless the fingers are going to be playing a specific role, if the character's like grabbing something, which in this case they are not, fingers don't really matter. I think I'm gonna have Odysseus just viewable from like the hair, and I think it would be fun to here specifically try and draw out the circle for the head so I know the general shape of the shape and size and perspective that I want to do. There we go, that works. I think it would be a fun idea to have the hair slightly messed up from being literally dragged through the air. Um, have kind of like a strand sticking up here, here. Very messed up hair. I think that's fun. I think that's fun. Um, I have onion skin off. I do. Why is onion skin not working? Wait, what? Even when I turn it off, it's not working. Oh right, because I skipped the last line because I had no idea what to draw yet. Um, that's why it wasn't working on because I don't have anything on the last frame. Um, right. I do kind of want to have a stream playlist that's more than just playing Epic on loop for streams. Because I love Epic, but also like it's fun to have like several different stuff in music. But also another thing that I would want to add there is has been hotel music, and I don't know how much I want to risk Amazon's wrath. Because Amazon is not good when it comes to copyright. At least from what I've heard, they're not great. I wouldn't have it in the VOD, so there wouldn't be an issue in that anyways. But also, I don't know. There's a possibility I'll add stuff like Has Been Hotel. Stories from Sticks is very good. That's another thing that I want to add in at some point is Stories from Sticks. If y'all don't know Stories from Sticks, go listen to it. It's another Greek mythology based musical that was more recently released than Epic. It was like released earlier this month, I think actually. No, last month, near the end of last month. Um, it's very good. So far, part one is out, and it's not going to be as long as Epic. I think it's just going to be 2 parts, and part one's like 20 something minutes, I think, with I believe 6 songs. It is so good. Go listen to Stories from Six. And also, if you've listened to Epic but not Stories from Six, and you want a little, some slight familiarity from Epic, um, something to pull you into listening to it. Um, the voice actor of Athena, Tegan Early, is also in Stories from Six, uh, voicing Persephone. So you needed more reason to go and watch it. There is at least one Epic voice actor in there. I think that's the only person who was also in Epic that is in Stories from Six. But it's very good.
Welcome to my throne. It's not very.
Go up to the sound thing so I can figure out where the here. Sometimes it's kind of tough to find out when a piece of dialogue starts. There we go. Kind of just want to do a closer shot of Aeolus's face. Hold on. More like this. Oh, that's a good angle. All right. No, hold on. Oh no, I haven't really done a closer face shot of Aeolus yet, so I don't really know how to do their face closer up. It needs to be a bit wider, slightly. Slightly. There we go. No, hold on. Okay, give it enough time so that it doesn't consider it the same stroke as the chin. Slightly this way because it's a 3/4 view, not a front facing. Okay, why is this being so difficult? Hold on. No? Maybe it would be a bit more like this. There we go. That's pretty good. Luck Runs Out is another animatic I need to do. That one's it's in terms of visuals I've thought out. It's one of my favorite songs purely in terms of visuals that I've thought out for an animatic of it. I definitely want to make Odysseus like almost threatening closer like in this part of the song just because I think that any animatics I've seen do that it's so cool. And there's a specific way I really want to do Odysseus in this animatic. There's a very specific way I want to do Odysseus's actions and his body language and like facial expression and everything, along with how the tone of his voice sounds in Luck Runs Out. There's a very specific balance I want to do of him trying to appease the crew while also subtly telling Eurylochus, "Shut the fuck up! You're gonna cause a mutiny," which he does. And it's gonna show a bit of a bit of the monster coming out before we even hit the Underworld saga. It's a bit too wide for their torso. Hold on. It's a bit too wide for their torso for what I want them to. There we go. That looks slightly better. That actually looks okay. Yeah, that's right. Draw out the shoulder joints first, right? It's a new thing I'm trying. It's a new thing I've started doing, so I haven't gotten fully into the habit of it yet. But I think it does like round out the shoulders a bit more visually, and it makes it slightly easier to tell where the arms come from. Fucking Winions. It's treasure. Like, fuck, it's not. Oh, that is one of my favorite parts of the song. The like what after that line is so funny. I love how many whats there are in Epic. I didn't even realize it on my first listen through. Like how many times any character says what in Epic. Listen through Epic and you'll see how often what is said. I'm trying to think of when what starts with, like when a character first says what in the specific way of like that being the only thing they say in a line. I think it might be at the end of Polyphemus. And from then on, there's like nearly every saga, there's at least one character saying what. Funny. Also, yeah, this is pretty typical for any of my art streams where I work on Epic. It's half me actually drawing, half me talking about cool things I like about Epic, because I like talking about Epic. Like, I first listened to it in, like, January, and it's been a very consistent hyperfixation for me since then, pretty much. It's very good. I would love to see how much how many like minutes I've listened to Epic in total at the end of the year on Spotify Wrapped. That I'm sure it's gonna be very high because I almost always have it on. Like it's nice to just listen to in the background no matter what I'm doing. I think that's good. I think that's good for their hair. Also, notice if I can avoid it, I never draw ears. I hate drawing ears. Ears are so hard to draw. Maybe it's just because I don't have any practice, but where do you draw an ear? How the fuck do you draw an ear? I mean, that's not a terrible shape for an ear, but like, where do you put it on the side of the head? I just cover it up with hair usually, if I can. Um, However, whenever I actually start doing animatics of songs with Eurylochus in it, I'm gonna have to figure out because my design of him does not have long enough hair to cover the ears. Most other characters do, or they have something covering their ears. Like Tiresias is gonna have like a cloak on with a hood over his head. I don't have anything like that for Eurylochus. And I don't have any ideas of what to do for that, so I'm gonna have to draw his ears. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Also, I am gonna definitely give him the big ass sword he has in a lot of animatics. I'm pretty sure that's canon, right? Him having this huge sword, like this kind of a sword. Might as well just sketch it in. I'm pretty sure him having that is like in the actual official animatics, something like that. Maybe more cleaver shaped. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't watched the official animatics in a while. But I know it's canon him having a big sword. I think at least. I say I know it's canon, but I could be remembering wrong. But like, I'm pretty sure it is canon. And it's that if I do like a mutiny animatic or something where he pulls out his sword for whatever reason, I'm definitely gonna include his big ass sword as a detail because I love his big ass
It's
sword.
not very often.
Wait, hold on.
It's not very often we get visitors here, so
I'm trying to think. I'm
welcome to
listening
my
ahead.
island. Welcome to my home. Tell me where you're headed.
Okay. So,
It's not very often we get visitors here, so
okay. I think what I'm gonna do is have the Winions come in here because you do hear them in the background. I assume those background voices are supposed to be the Winions. I've seen them portrayed as the Winions in the few animatics that have come out because I love this song. So I've kind of been keeping up on watching most, at least, of the animatics about this song because it's one of my favorite cut songs, if not my favorite cut song. I really hope when they do the cut song saga, when they release the cut songs, I don't know if they're going to be able to because this would require them to like have the budget to be able to pay the voice actors for their work. But I really hope that they're able to get the official voice actors for the characters on there. Because I really want to hear Aeolus's voice actor singing this. And a song I really hope they release in its entirety is "Hey Fellas," which is a really good. Hold on, it's an Antinous cut song, and Antinous, first of all, shit character, fucking amazing voice acting though. Like, hold on. Sorry to interrupt the Storm Saga vibes, the just lost 557 men vibes here, but there was a cut song where Antinous was supposed to survive the arrow through his throat originally. Um, Here, since at the end of the song, anyways. Wait, no, hold on. Wait, here we go. This is voiced again by Jorge and not by Antinous' voice actor. Wait, no, hold on. This is instead sung by Jorge because it wasn't fully done when it was cut. It's so good. It's so good. This is one of my favorite cut songs because it's a cool idea, but also I'm glad they didn't do it. Because, first of all, surviving an arrow through the throat is not realistic at all. And surviving an arrow through the throat is one thing, already unrealistic. Surviving an arrow through the throat and going on to manage to beat Odysseus is that's not gonna happen. And then Telemachus comes in. This is his entrance in here. This is this is my second time I'm going through a cut song, but I'm working on a cut song animatic, so I kind of want to go through the some of the cut songs that I like. I hope this song um gets actually at like released in the cut songs they release. Yeah, this is when he comes in instead of by killing the suitors when they opened the killing one of the suitors when they opened the weapons room. All right. Wait, is this actual text that the creator wrote? I think it is because I think this is from the short that it was actually released in. I don't know. Either way, let's go back to Cersei Saga. That's where I interrupted it to talk about that cut song. Those cut songs, I think it was supposed to be two separate songs, but the Spotify one I found was both songs put together in the same thing. Because I think the Telemachus section is called Royal Wisdom Burst or something. That's when that's what that was supposed to be a separate song from Antinous'. I'm trying to figure out how to do the mouth. Do the nose. Positioned and drawn correctly. It's kind of hard to do with the symmetry line down the middle. I might have made it a bit too thick for this specific sketch because it's hard to see the nose if it's done correctly. The eyes are too close to the center. That sucks too because the right eye I actually did. I drew pretty well. That would have been good enough to stay if it wasn't so close to the center. I probably could have moved it, but whatever. It's too late to undo or to redo it now. Actually, it would be redoing it since I undid it, but I went back over it already, so just have to deal with it. Um, This I was too low up by a bit. Cersei's voice acting is so good. Any of the songs she's in are immediately really good. It's both her and Athena. Any songs they're in are automatically good because like the voicing is so good. Um, Done For is actually one of my favorite songs in the musical. I love their duel. Also, I absolutely love that Hermes gave it to you, didn't he? Immediately read that Odysseus was not being truthful about how he got the flower. Hold on. I think before drawing the shoulders, I should draw the torso line because it would be easier to figure out the width instead of drawing the shoulders out to that. Make it slightly thicker, actually. Slightly wider by a little bit. I don't know. I'm thinking this torso might still, even now, be a bit narrow. Even giving them like a smaller body type. I still think they should have it slightly wider than that. They have like a smaller frame than a lot of the other like gods. I just think it fits them for this character design better. I am very excited to show off my Athena design whenever I am considering working on a God Games animatic. Well, not even considering. I know I want to at some point. I'm just don't know when I'm gonna start because I really want to do a God Games animatic. Wait, this is when the Winions come in, right?
Welcome to my island.
Yes, it is. Okay. Bit thin. Hold on. Bit thick. Hold on. This needs to be longer by a bit. So what I want to do is have. Mm, how do I have it like to where they're kind of more subtly have their hands up? That might look better. I want less of a difference between the hands positioning and the forearms positioning. So also do it across from that. About the same across. Added in the forearm a bit longer, but I can just kind of build the hand into the end of the forearm sketch. Uh, Make it slightly less because I still want to keep some of that playful energy from Keep Your Friends Close because I think that they would still have that. They're not completely changed character. That works. I don't want to have it completely like brows arched in a very friendly way completely. It's supposed to be like friendly, but also like not completely doing this out of the kindness of their out of the kindness of their heart. It's kind of also them wanting to just see what happens if they mess with stuff. Is this even? Hold on. I don't want to have it slightly to the side actually here. There we go. I am super glad I got music working.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my island.
I didn't change the positioning at all, did I? Okay, no. I've had some times where I accidentally grab when I'm trying to set the spot of where the current frame I'm on is. I've had times where I've accidentally taken one of the folders, one of the animation folders, and moved it like a frame back, and I haven't noticed until I'm like so far in, and I'm noticing, wait, those frames are disappearing and reappearing a frame later than they're supposed to. Causes some issues with stuff overlapping incorrectly. Okay, so the Winions are going to come in. Here's the thing. Do I want to go with the canon design, or do I want to make it a bit fun? The canon design is that I think that the Winions that Aeolus has are the same design, like they look the same as the Winions. At least from what I've seen of the official animations, they look the same as the Winions on the. They look the same as the Lotus Eaters, kind of. Like I've seen the official animations for both the Lotus Eaters in Open Arms and the Winions, specifically in the Dangerous animatic, is I think where I've seen Aeolus's Winions from. And I think other than like the wait, is the Lotus Flower on their head even a canon? I think I'm thinking of Murchie's animatic of Open Arms. I don't know if they have the flower canonically, but I think they are basically the same creatures. Just or do I want to kind of have some fun with it? Something I surprisingly have not seen people do with the Winions. I don't know. Would it be more fun to just go with the sort of official design? No. I was gonna have them be like balls of cloud, but I don't know. I think I like the. What do the official Winions look like? Let me see. Winion. Okay. I see. Yeah, I do. I do very. I like I was saying. I like that I was able to get music in the stream because when I'm looking something up like this and not really saying much of like much stuff that's super interesting, I have the music. The music is here to, so it's not just like awkward silence. Okay. So yeah, they basically are the same. One of my favorite like fan made designs for the Winions is definitely Gigi's design. Like if you've seen Gigi's Keep Your Friends Close animatic or Gigi's the animatic of this specific song actually, because they recently released an animatic of this song. Um, their design's cool, but I'm gonna go with the official design because I don't really have any specific ideas for a design for the Winions, and I do like the official design of the Winions. Okay, I was making sure I had had all the details for the Winions right. So they kind of have more like they don't necessarily have perfect circle heads. I don't know. I feel like I want them to be a bit smaller. They're supposed to be very small. Um, uh, Not sure about their body proportions. Proportions are hard to figure out. Okay, so their bodies are actually probably would be easier to make without splitting into different sections. Because they basically are just this for their body. It's like, it's very simple for the body shape design. It would actually be much easier to create without. This is right. Yeah, from the pictures I'm seeing of Winions, they basically are that. They're just small creatures. Actually, instead of having them floating like that, it kind of would be fun to have them kind of more just like poke out from the sides of the screen. Rip Pelleties. Rip Pelleties. uh, yeah, that looks about right. All right. The ears are fairly simple, just they're very fluffy. I didn't mean to fucking. I keep nudging my keyboard, nudging a certain key on there that moves it when I undo stuff. That moves the layer when I undo things. Which isn't supposed to happen. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do the basic shape of the ears before I work out the fluff. The ears should be pretty easy because they're basically the same shape as Alistair's ears, just fluffier. And I've drawn Alistair actually quite a bit. I haven't shared any drawings of Alistair. I should draw Alistair and post one of my drawings of Alistair at some point. Alistair from Hazbin Hotel specifically. I'm realizing maybe not everyone would automatically assume I mean Hazbin Hotel because I assume there are other characters named specifically Alistair than Hazbin Hotel. I think Hazbin Hotel Alistair is probably the most popular um, character named Alistair, but he's certainly not the only character named Alistair. I'm trying to figure out how their body extends from down from their head. Kind of complicated. It doesn't really look like they have a neck that is drawn in on any of these pictures, so I'm kind of just going right from head to body. But that looks weird. But I'm gonna assume that's correct. If I come up with my own ideas for a design of what I want the Winions to be, because I have seen some people make their own designs, I will possibly update this frame with my own design of Winions. However, as of right now, I don't really have any ideas of my own, and so I'm gonna go with the canon design of the Winions. I was gonna do like puffs of clouds for the Winions, but I don't know. It doesn't really fit the visual. I think I'm just gonna draw the eyes like this, just like simple shut eyes. There we go. That's nice. Because I think that looks fun. That's fun for them. For their faces to look, for their faces to just be this. I like it. Make some differences in their designs. This Winion's gonna have much larger ears. No reason in particular, just so they aren't the exact same in every way, because they're creatures. They're not gonna be exactly the same across all of them. So this one's gonna have the big ears. Kind of like how in any songs I do animatics of that have the crew involved, I want to make at least like 5 background characters of the crew that are going to be consistent across any time the crew is shown. Um, because it would be fun to have like more unique background characters. Like I'm not going to design 600 separate characters for the 600 crew. Some of them are just going to be faceless background characters because I do not have the want to design 600 or even like 50 for just Odysseus's ship. That's a lot of character design. Um, Even if it's not technically 50, it would be 47 because there's Polites and Eurylochus and Odysseus as well. So 3 on their ship wouldn't need to be new character designs, but you know, I'm still not going to do 47 separate character designs to remember and know the details of every time I draw the crew. But I want to at least have like a handful of crew designs, like maybe 4 or 5 that repeatedly come up. Um, Nose on you.
To my island. Welcome to my home.
Wait, hold on. Let me see what the lyrics after this are because there's a certain one part that I know I
Welcome
want
to
to
my
use.
home. Tell me where you're headed and I'll get you where you need to go. Welcome to my kingdom. Welcome to my throne. How can I serve the great Odysseus of Ithaca?
Okay, I know what I want to do. Hold on. I know what I want to do.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my
Here, and then Winions, so they aren't in frame anymore. Okay, I should probably draw the head shape, even though I'm drawing from a more back view, so you aren't necessarily going to see Aeolus's face, at least not much of it, but I should at least draw the head shape so I know where the hair extends from. I've made the mistake before of not doing this, and then I end up drawing the hair all weird because I didn't know where it was supposed to be connected. Why do I have a feeling I'm going to go back through this, and because of the nature of the hair being blown around by wind always for Aeolus, I have a feeling I'm gonna go back through this animation and like find so many length inconsistencies with the hair. Like, oh no, that's actually pretty consistent. Could be a bit longer. Mm, no, it works here. I bet I'm gonna find like so many length inconsistencies because of the way of it being blown around by wind always. It's gonna change the position and everything in the hair. There's gonna be so many. I feel like I could still draw this better because there's some that are like way more rounded than it should be. That wasn't my best work with hair. I didn't put as much time into it as I should have. There. Damn, Odysseus becoming the monster. That is another song I want to do an animatic of. There's so many songs I want to do animatics of. Some songs I might not do a complete animatic of because there are some songs where it's like I have a section of the song that I really want to animate, but like the rest of it, I have no idea for like no unique ideas for visuals. So some songs might just be like, oh, certain sections of the song are animated, and I post 30 seconds to a minute from some songs, but yeah, like Monster might actually be one of those examples because I don't know for a lot of Monster what I want for visuals, but for the like then I'll become the monster part, like that section, there I have like really cool ideas for visuals for that. But not for a lot of the song. I had no idea what I would do for a lot of the song. If I can come up with those ideas, maybe I'll do a complete animatic at some point. But like, do background. If I'm gonna have because I'm doing a back view of Aeolus's head, and I'm gonna have Odysseus like just standing there, kind of just waiting, like get to the point, please. Because again, I love the idea of like this animatic Aeolus is being so like playful and fun and everything, and Odysseus is like, I just want to get through the storm. I don't want to deal with this. I don't. I think that's decent. That line kind of messes with it because I was originally going to do it like that, but then I realized I kind of would rather have the lines going at this angle to start with. Back to Odysseus though. There's more detail I could add in the background, but right now I just want to make sure I've done it right in terms of Odysseus's positioning. Should be a little bit wider. There we go. That looks good. Oh, also, this is the first time I've done since I actually posted the redesign of my kobold character. Currently, I'm still using the stuffed as hell PNG that I made in like 5 minutes when I got this new PC because I still haven't gotten around to getting a new one made because as of right now, I didn't think about getting a webcam. So as of right now, I cannot use my Live 2D model and might not be using my Live 2D model again for reasons I will not talk about yet because that is not something I want to reveal yet. But I am working on something with my new design that I posted on my Blue Sky, which is linked in my Twitch. My blue sky. Oh my god, my Blue Sky is linked in my Twitch, on my Twitch channel page. If y'all wanna go there, because that is where I post pretty much any updates I don't directly talk about on stream. Um, and you can see my new design there. Just needs to be a bit. No, it looks decent. The nose I was making didn't look great, but like I can remake that. But the rest of it looks decent. Nose Odysseus's nose needs some work in my design. Like, uh, his nose, the way I've designed it is to draw. I just I just draw him completely unseriously in this frame. Because I do absolutely love when people in animatics have like a character in a more non-serious scene, I guess you would call it. Um, Drawn in in like a more silly, simplified way. Nah, uh, we will see. I will keep this and then I will erase it to see like draw it more seriously and see which one looks better. Because that this way I can undo back to that. See if I like actually drawing it better or if I want to do the more jokey drawing. Even this is a bit more silly than I would typically draw it. How the hell did I do this eye in a way that I can make this eye also? Okay, this specific perspective I put the face in is very confusing. Okay, put the eye. This even level? It looks so wrong. This looks so wrong. No, don't make him look angry. Just make him look incredibly done with this. Keeps looking too angry. That's decent. Doesn't look quite as good as I would want it to. I feel like the eyes. I feel like I'm drawing eyes really weird today compared to how I usually would. Maybe draw the tops of the eyes first. This is another song that I really want to do an animatic to. This song and Suffering, I want to kind of do joint animatics too. Like, animatics I release at the same time, or maybe have them all in the same animatic. But kind of have it continue directly from Suffering into different beasts in the same animatic. Looks a bit scared there. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make him look incredibly bored and unamused by anything Aeolus is doing. He very much does. He wants to get to the storm. He doesn't want to deal with the wind gods. Anything about the wind god other than the wind bag. He came here for one thing, help, and he is being taken unwillingly on a tour around the kingdom. And I think I think that's a fun way to do it. I have seen some people do it in a slightly less this looking Odysseus, in a slightly less annoyed look for Odysseus. I don't know. I think it's fun to do it this way. Maybe I could do the arms in a more fun way, fun posing than just this. Fun. Like having the arms up. Oh, this kind of mirrors Aeolus's pose too. But Aeolus is doing this in a more welcoming way. Odysseus is like doing this in a what's the point of this? Get to the point. Maybe I'm drawing him a bit too annoyed in this. I don't know, because I'm thinking about the tone of his voice later on in the song. This seems weird. Not how I wanted it to be. Post. I'm realizing I've not drank any water at all in the stream. Hold on. I'll drink. I'll drink some water once I'm. Right, his hair's still gonna be messed up. You're not that messed up. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to have the hair still messed up because that's. I don't know. No, he probably would have smoothed it out. But anyways. Also, that's too long for the hair at this point in the story. Again, I'm used to my Would You Fall in Love with Me animatic. Would You Fall in Love with Me again animatic. That one I have it so much longer because it is the end of Epic. It's specifically anything post Calypso's Island. He has the super long beard and hair, long and unkempt, because he didn't care about that on Calypso's Island. He wanted to get off. He didn't care about. Even here, the hair's too like unequal looking. It doesn't look equal on both sides as much as I want it to. Looks decent.
Welcome to my home. Tell me where you're
Winions aren't. Background as well needs to be removed. Not Aeolus yet. Yet. Say yet specifically because got the beard first, so I know, so I can draw. I can know where the nose is. To draw that right above the end of that. I don't know if that's right for the nose. The nose looks weird with the like face line there. It's kind of hard to. Why am I on blur? I meant to be on eraser. Decent. I don't know. It's so hard to tell if a nose looks good or not for drawing. Come on. How do I draw the iris? How do I draw it in a way that looks right? This doesn't look right. Irises from side view are rough. I don't know how to draw them in a way that doesn't that looks. Drawing them in the middle doesn't look right at all because it looks more surprised or shocked by thing. Look, the iris is too big, but he's not looking up really. Maybe I just make the eye in general smaller. If I just like maybe decent actually, not perfect though. But whatever, it's not gonna be perfect regardless. I have a specific thing I'm trying to set up with this.
Tell me where.
Okay, starts being set here, so not Odysseus, Aeolus. And also, actually, hold on, I have something before this, so I don't. Never mind. I thought I made a new animation folder on accident. Well, no, I think I'm gonna have the appearance be more. Um, I don't know. It's tough to figure out the hair when it's this close to the. Try and estimate it, sort of. Some of this isn't even gonna be in frame correctly. Because the blue border, anything outside of the blue border isn't actually gonna be in the exported frame. Wait, no, it will be in Odysseus' folder. Don't. Just gonna make sure I keep the sizing very accurate with the head size. So I'm gonna. Cause I'm moving the head, but I want to make sure I don't get it like super small or anything. It's telemarketer. Telemachus. Okay, the nose is definitely too small for whatever. I'll do it again, I guess. I'll redraw it. That's not consistent nose shape either. Whatever. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly. I don't know if that's good for the eyes. Maybe more specifically. No, I don't think a line there would work. Would be the exact look I'm going for.
Tell me where you're headed. Tell me where. Tell me where you're headed. Tell me where. Tell me where.
Hold on, it's doing the thing where it doesn't show.
Tell me where you're headed.
There we go. It sometimes has this glitch where it doesn't, where it like skips over showing one frame when you actually play it, which is fixable by just adding a frame and then deleting and then undoing that frame.
Tell me where you're headed.
Like I bet you if I played this from the start again, it would not show every single frame. It's just a glitch with
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the greatest floating place I've ever known. Welcome to my kingdom. Welcome to my throne. It's not very often we get visitors here, so welcome to my island. Welcome to my home. Tell me where you're headed and
I know. This time it seems to have done that. Maybe I could make Odysseus slightly less annoyed looking in some of this because I don't know how much it fits with the, especially like the song before this would have been Luck Runs Out. Odysseus sounds a lot more optimistic about this plan. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But they literally like leap at Odysseus so fast that they like scare him, make him fall back. I think that's a fun idea.
tell me where you're headed and I'll get you.
Let me see how long I'm gonna put that on there.
Tell me where you're headed. Where you're headed and
Here probably that works, right?
tell me where you're headed and I'll.
A bit back.
Tell me where you're headed and.
Maybe Ellis. Background. Background. There we go. Oh no, I have to draw a character looking up. Drawing a character looking up is I hate doing it unless it's from a side view where you can just angle their head up. It is so hard to draw a character looking up. For me, at least, it's very difficult. Trying to figure out how this works. I don't know how it works. I don't know if that looks right at all. I do not like drawing characters looking up. So difficult. Um, maybe it would go slightly back. Because I'm trying to just think of an actual person looking up and how their like chin and jaw looks. 'Cause that's the hard part for me is like drawing how their chin and jaw looks. Looking up because you see some of the underside, but I'm trying to figure out how that looks and how to draw that well. It's good enough, and I can edit it later on if I really need to. Hold on, how would I? It's so hard drawing like a looking up perspective. I don't know. This is tough to get the exact perspective of. Okay, I'm trying to. So his hands would be probably behind him. It really depends on where he places them, but I think trying to think of how it would look. No, I'm really trying to think about this to be able to. I really should just look up a reference for this and kind of draw based off of that. Make it so much easier, but also like I don't want to. I would that would make me have to open the browser and find that specific pose. Maybe I should do. Maybe the move is to just do it for my side view, which would also mean I'd have to like redo that. Because I can imagine this much better from a side view. Well, I don't know if the legs would start there, actually. It might start, like, closer to here. That's too small for the eye size. Hold on. I didn't even realize that was zoomed in a way that made it. I didn't immediately realize that's not really the eye size I'm going for. Gonna make his hair a bit more messy since he just fell. It's not really that messy though. Like, kind of maybe sticking out a bit more. Not that much. It wouldn't get that messy when there's. Maybe I'll just draw it normally. It's hard to draw and make it look right in the first place from a side view. I don't need to make it more complicated. I don't even know if that looks right. It is so hard to figure out hair from a side view. Like, I've got it from, like, a front view, back view, 3/4 view. A side view is so much harder, though. It's hard to tell exactly, like, where the hair would be in that position. For me, at least, it's much harder to do hair from a side view. It'd probably, like, put the other arm at a slightly different... No, I'm just gonna keep the other arm out of this.
And I'll get you where you need to go. Tell me where you're headed and I'll get you where you need to go. Need to go.
There we go, that's good. Also, I... Whoops. Nope, not like that. That's not what I meant to do. Also, I'm realizing I completely forgot to post the VOD of my last, Epic the Musical. Like, my last Epic animatic live stream. My last live stream working on that. I forgot to post that to my VOD channel. And I'm so sad about that because I had so many... I shared so many insights about my Would You Fall in Love with Me Would You Fall in Love with Me Again animatic, which is the one I was working on at the time. I like had mentioned so many different things and reasons why I did certain stuff with it, and I kind of wanted to have that saved just because I don't know where else I'm going to be saying that stuff. Fun to just specifically like have those reasons, like the different insights about my animatic. And I kind of want to have Aeolus poke their head down after realizing that Odysseus fell. Well, I think I made the mouth a bit too large. There we go. Maybe slightly further. I think that looks good. There we go. Hold on, their neck is not that long. I do kind of want to have them still, like, mostly back up there, but kind of just poking their head down. Hold on. There we go. Grab the circle for the arm positioning. Erase the guidelines out. So I can more clearly tell what exactly is supposed to be the body. Flatten the chest out a bit more. I don't think it's supposed to be out that much. There we go. Looks good for the pose. Yeah. I don't think the hair is too different from what I've drawn it as before in this animatic. Let's see. In motion.
Welcome to my kingdom.
Oh shit. Wait. Hold on. I remove 14. Delete layer. 1292. Okay. 92. 1292. 12.
Welcome to my home. Tell me where you're headed and I'll get you where you need to go. Welcome to
Oh, one. I just realized one song that I definitely want to do an animatic of. I was just thinking through like different cut songs. Your Light is one I really want to animate. I'm gonna have them like help Odysseus up after realizing they unintentionally made him fall to the ground. Hold on. About the same size hand.
welcome to my
Kind of a very quick frame.
welcome to my kingdom.
Why did it not create the other frame? There we go.
My kingdom, welcome to my throne. How can I serve the great?
Okay, I don't really have any ideas for the Welcome to My Kingdom, Welcome to My Throne this time around, so I think I am going to leave that blank for now again until I know what I want to do for that. But I do know what I want to do for this line, so I'm gonna have to draw the throne again. Hopefully, let's hope I remember enough of the design details to make it relatively consistent. There we go. I'll draw Aeolus on it. I do like this idea of like Aeolus, like while they're specifically
How can I serve the great Odysseus of Ithaca?
yeah, I do like the idea of while they're kind of um referring to Odysseus by like his title Odysseus of Ithaca. I like the idea of them like sitting on their throne, like them sitting on their like royalty throne while like referring to Odysseus by kind of his royal like name, by his title. I don't know. I think that's a cool detail. I also just don't want them back on the throne for this part. Hold on. I think I need to make the face a bit shorter. There we go. Even here. No, this works. I think it's more the way I did the jaw there that's the issue. It is during a line, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So they would have their mouth open. But yeah, don't worry. I am still working on my Would You Fall in Love with Me Would You Fall in Love with Me Again animatic. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, it's just this is like I got sort of tired of working on the same thing for so long, so this animatic is kind of a break from that, so I can still work on something animation related because I do very much like animating, but not on the exact same project. That is still going to be worked on and uploaded once I get fully finished with it. Bring them slightly further down onto the thread. I think I estimated their head to be a bit too high from this position. Oh, did anyone in chat who likes has been hotel and hell of a boss. Anyone see the announcements yesterday? Kind of technically from my time zone 2 days ago because it is. Oh my god, it's 4 a.m. in my time. I didn't realize how late it was. Um, it's technically the next day in my time zone. It's technically Sunday, not Saturday. But since I haven't gone to sleep, I will say technically yesterday, as in Friday. Did y'all see the announcement? Hell of a boss coming to Prime. Very cool. I am a bit apprehensive about some of it. Um, with the made their torso a bit wide. Hold on. I need to actually make the box of the torso to see if that's a bit if it's wrong or not. Hard to tell. I think I can work with this. Then great, their bottom half, which is clouds. Wait, hold on. I think I want to make it a bit more like very clearly on the throne. I want them to still kind of have some sort of form for their bottom half. It's just like very much it's clouds. Hmm. Try to figure out how I can like make an arc in the clouds, kind of like to show that this part of the clouds is level with the throne and this part is a bit in front of the throne. It's kind of fun having to like figure out like, oh, how do I work the clouds that is their bottom the clouds that are their bottom half. And I have like some cloud bits going off the bottom. Maybe just two cloud bits. There we go. I think that's too long for the forearm. Or not the forearm, the upper arm. Forearm was actually good there, but the upper arm was a bit long. And then draw their hair flowing up. On. Yeah. Draw it a bit more dynamically. If I start with the top of the hair and kind of work my way down the hair. So it's a bit less samey looking. There we go. This song interests me as an idea of doing an animatic to it because I don't know how I would do it because I am kind of in the camp of, with full respect to Jorge and his creative vision on it, the way it was done with the official animation. I say animation, not animatic, because it was done in a 3D animation for the official one. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of the hitting Poseidon 600 times very fast with the using the windbag. Um, I'm not a huge fan of that. With full respect to that being, yes, the official interpretation of it. For Epic, I think I would change it for my animatic, and I'm interested in how I would decide to do that. I like the idea of. I've seen it, some people come with the idea of like Ares aiding Odysseus, some strength for that, because Ares was promised bloodshed, so Ares wants to see that bloodshed promised. Um, Ares was promised bloodshed by Athena in God games. Or I do like the idea of somehow, though it wouldn't be very realistic for the logic of Greek mythology, somehow his 600 the 600 men in his crew that have all died helping him in the battle somehow. I really like the idea of that, and I'm thinking of how I would do that, like kind of have the spirits of his men helping him. So I have thought of ideas before. I might as well just say them right here because I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna do an animatic of 600 Strike. Also, this part would be interesting, dark to animate. Um, but like I like the idea of having the like 50 or so who died by both the Cyclops and Zeus killing them. Like the 50 or so who died not from the water. Um Physically helping Odysseus, like I have the idea of like this shot of Odysseus using the windbag to launch him towards Poseidon, and like it pans out to show like 50 of his crew behind him, and then the explanation as to why Poseidon can't just use his godly powers to evade the strike, as having the 400 something men, no 500 something men who Poseidon killed, like reaching up from underwater to hold him in place for the strike. I really like that idea. That was something I had thought up, and I might go with that, even though, like, logically, how are they helping from the underworld? Logically, it has some issues, but also, like, as a cool animatic, I think that could really be fun. Also, their hair doesn't necessarily all go to the same length at the top. It's a bit more like it's not necessarily all the same length at the top. Make it a bit more unique looking for each bit of. There we go. Also, kind of looks like a crown. I didn't even realize that.
Throne. How can I serve the great Odysseus of Ithaca?
Okay, you can barely hear Odysseus' voice in this. Like if you can very quietly hear that. I don't even know if you can hear that with the music in the background, but there's like a very quiet "You know me." I think it starts here. It's really hard to tell because it's really quiet. But I think here's where it starts. Also, this is gonna be the point where Odysseus becomes slightly less just annoyed and more like interested. Like, you know me, you can help, hopefully, which they actually do kind of help. It's the crew that does the opposite of that. Eurylochus. And in general, the crew, I doubt no one would have opened the bag if it wasn't Eurylochus. But you know, Eurylochus is the one who actually goes through with opening the bag. think having the mouse start here would actually work. Sorry for the occasional squeaking of the table. The table moves really easily, like with the slightest of movements in either direction. It moves and it squeaks pretty loudly every time it does move. So it's really annoying to deal with. Also, if you can hear the AC as well in the background is kind of an issue. But I can't really solve that because it is somehow already, for it being this early into the warmer months, it's so hot here lately. And I'm like right by the AC, like to my right, the wall to my right, and up like a few feet is the AC unit, and it's on and off. It's not always going, so you can only sometimes hear it. Like I think if I take off my headset, yeah, it like kind of just stopped a few seconds ago, but like kind of goes in cycles. So like during the cycles it's on, I can't really do anything about bring it. Okay, I should do the bottom of the eyes first to get the basic placement. That's a bit. This is such a good song, but also the lyrics are so fucking dark. But like, I think the voice actor's name is Aaron, 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 Aaron. I've seen him on TikTok before. I've seen some videos of his, and I don't remember exactly how his name is pronounced. But his singing is so good. But also the lyrics are so like it's a really good song, but lyrics are so fucked up. This part specifically, and also the Telemachus part. Mainly this one. He looks a bit too confused here, but like, I don't know. Maybe round it out a bit more. Maybe just looking more surprised than confused outright. Um, that might look better. Shoulders got to go out a bit more. There we go. So the head needs to be tilted a bit less. I don't really like the positioning of the head. It looks like he's like. It looks like it's painful with the position of the neck. Looks like he's like painfully tilting his head forward and to the side and up. So I'll need to redo the neck, but I think this actually might work better as a position for the head. Because he isn't looking up that much. Like, Aeolus's throne is on a higher point than he's standing at, but, like, not that big of a difference. He can see Aeolus just by, like, glancing up like this. Get the hair right. It didn't change. Hold on. Hate this glitch. There we go.
Oh, yes, I know.
Alright, do it there. I think frame change would be. Oh wait, actually, I think having. No, I like it actually here. I was gonna have a frame change like slightly before the dialogue, but I think I like it changing here anyways. A sort of closer shot of Aeolus too. Also, just because I do want to have like a closer shot of their face somewhere in this animatic, because this is my first time actually like animating Aeolus, so I want to kind of have a range of distance shots of Aeolus. Some further, some more normal range away, some closer. Odysseus goes so hard. The song. So good. It's so good. Doing an animatic of this would be fun, but also that would be an absolute task to do. Like, Would You Fall in Love with Me Again is like obviously longer than this. But also like um that one I'm doing like I don't know. It feels slightly less like this one I would have to know so much more on how to animate. Like how to animate the stabs here, how to animate oh fuck, animating bow and arrow has gotta be hard. I have no idea how to start with that. I would have to look at tons of references. Again, I should do the bottom to the eyes first to get the basic positioning down. Generally the same proportions, keep it consistent. I would say that's the hardest part. Like the details, keeping those consistent, like how their hair looks, isn't that hard for any character, for me at least. It's the proportions. Like how wide is their torso? How thick is their neck? What size are their eyes? Like Aeolus, I'm giving them slightly larger eyes proportionally than some other characters because they're like a more fun and playful character. So I think the uh Have them kind of reaching out like, yeah, I know you. And Odysseus, who wouldn't? Because I feel like that could fit the way this line is. Given the hair again, I think I like the hair when I can, having it slightly go out at an angle. Looks slightly more instead of going like straight up. Looks slightly more dynamic. I like the look of it a bit more. That looks good. I really hope I actually did it correctly with the VOD and the stream having separate tracks of audio. Because if I didn't, this VOD, the VOD of this is gonna get so fucking muted. It's gonna be muted the moment it goes up. I have had in the background so much copyrighted music playing. I mean, what Twitch I definitely haven't had. I think the music is playing for pretty much this entire stream. I don't need to dry on the clothes. Those again go into like refining the sketch process. That's why I'm drawing the clothing details. I haven't done that for any of the other frames, so nor didn't do it for this. I guess it's just because it was a closer in frame. Let me see what I've got so far.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the greatest floating place I've ever known. Welcome to my kingdom. Welcome to my throne. It's not very often we get visitors here, so welcome to my island. Welcome to my home. Tell me where you're headed and I'll get you where you need to go. Welcome to my kingdom. Welcome to my throne. How can I serve the great Odysseus of Ithaca? Oh, yes, I know. Oh, oh, how could I not know the man who ended the Trojan War? Oh, oh.
That went a bit longer than what I have for animation so far. Pretty good so far. What frame am I up to? What frame number? First of all, what does this start at? Starts around 507. And aside from a couple lines that I didn't know what to animate in, so they're left blank for now until I figure out what I want to do. I'm 1563, so I'm about 1,000 frames in. And the song goes for so I'm about a third of the way in. Just over a third of the way in, actually, because it's like 3,300 and it starts at like 500. Pretty good. Now, I love this. This has been a very fun stream, especially now that I've gotten the music up for art streams and just any games I play that are more chill that don't really need to be focused on in terms of like sound. Like if I played Blatchor for another stream, I'd probably have some sort of background music. Maybe Stardew Valley, maybe not Stardew Valley, I don't know. I think I'm gonna rate out. I'm gonna figure out who's streaming, and I'm gonna rate out. I've had a lot of fun this stream. However, it is understandable if you can't for whatever reason, because it is. I don't know how everyone else's time zones are, but it is 5:10 a.m. in my time zone. It's early/late in the morning. So let me see who's streaming. Fucking okay. I love how absolutely like no one I follow is streaming. I mean, technically there is a certain person I could read into who is streaming. I'm not gonna say their name in case I decide to write into someone else. But they are, however, they are sleeping. They're currently doing a subathon, and they're sleeping. So they wouldn't. It would still be supporting them. So I honestly might see who else is streaming who I follow. Let me see. Because I would like to raid into them because I do want to support them, but also like they're sleeping. I want to raid into a stream that y'all can like more interact with. Um, I mean, there's stuff for y'all to still interact with. They do have like words on stream up. What do you think? Uh, it's up, but it's kind of showing a game over screen right now. Give me a moment. Hold on. God, there's like no one fucking streaming. Who I follow? I guess we could raid into the person who's doing the subathon. Maybe. There's like no one in chat. I want it to be somewhere that y'all can like go have fun in. Um, and like I mean, their streams are fun regardless. They do have a VOD up and running for people to watch overnight. But like somewhere someone who's currently streaming that chat can interact with. Um, hmm. We might just end stream. Apologies. I do like raiding, especially when I have like more than one or two viewers because I like being able to um send people over to someone else's stream to support them, but there's like no one streaming. Um, and I don't want to raid into a stream where like kind of catch them at a moment where like no one's really in chat right now. There are people lurking to like gain channel points and stuff. And also just to support, but like there's not really anyone active in chat right now, so I think I am going to end stream. This was a lot of fun. Now that I've gotten music up, there probably will be more art streams in the future. I don't know if my next stream will be an art stream. I might play Mortuary Assistant or something, but who knows? Um. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Anyone who watched it all, um, it is very appreciated. And hopefully I'll next stream sometime soon. My stream schedule has been sporadic for the last couple months. It's like I'll stream a couple times in a week, and then there'll be like a couple weeks where I don't stream, or I'll stream once every couple weeks or something. I hope to get to a more regular streaming schedule soon. But yeah, see you all next stream. Hopefully next couple days.